April 15th. April 15th. Uh, Saturday, April the 11th. Yeah, April the 11th. 8:45. The sky is chrome and hues of light gray. The lake water is clear. Forecast for today is cloudy with chances of rain later on in the day. I can tell because my knees, every time, oh, I'm lying. I'm just lying. I don't know why I lie, man. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. Ain't that right? You ain't got to lie. Yeah. Boy. Last night. Went to bed at 1 o'clock. I just could not go to sleep. I don't know. I think it was because the night before, my neighbor downstairs, they were playing music all night long. Probably trying to provoke me because the night before the night last night, Honey Bear was jumping up and down on my bed, and my bedroom sits directly on top of their bedroom. So it was a reaction to Honey Bear. That's just apartment life, though, man. I mean, you got some good nights and you got some not so good nights, but it's still okay. It's still okay. I'm still alive. I'm happy to be alive. Life is good. I have to make sure Honey Bear is not making too much noise. I have to be considerate, because I don't want to be that inconsiderate person that doesn't understand. When people come home, they want peace and quiet. They really just want to be, peaceful in their home. And I have to think about that. I don't think about a lot of things. Like, I'm not considerate, or I'm not. Sometimes I can be a bad neighbor. Sometimes when I complain about other people, it's because I don't want to deal with myself. I don't want to see the role that I play in the problem. But that's not the reality. The reality is, I have to be a good neighbor, and if that means, observing certain, like practices, like after a certain hour of the day, try to be as quiet as possible, because that's the time when people are trying to unwind and be getting prepared for the next day. So but but all that being said, I'm working on it. I'm working on it now because I don't want to stay up. I don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night because somebody's playing some loud music or whatever. So I have to set a routine for myself. Like, okay, around 9:30, you be winding it down. Really winding it down. Volume on the TV is at the lowest possible setting. I don't need to be making a lot of noise walking around in the apartment because that noise transfers downstairs. That vibrates on the floor. So I definitely need to make sure Honeybear is, comfortable. So she won't be getting up and down throughout the night making a lot of noise. Alright, so my plans for today. I think I'll have to do a little bit more research on the EMT course at the Tarrant County Community College. Do about an hour's worth of research. I was gonna wash my car, but the forecast says it's gonna be raining later on this weekend, so I'm not gonna wash the car today. There's a community event going on at the park around noon. I might drive by and just observe. Yeah, that's it. I don't have too much planned today. I don't have to go shopping. I don't have to go visit anybody. Last weekend I had a very busy weekend, the whole weekend. So, yeah, I can just kind of, just hang loose, maybe call a few people. Yeah, that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. Today is Saturday, so I'll probably watch the rewind for In Class with Carr, a weekly program dealing with the current events of America and the globe, and try to stay up to date with what the pundits are saying. And how that translates into everyday life. Because it really makes a difference to not just hear the news, but to be able to decipher the message. Like, to really be able to decipher what is being said, who is saying it, what are the causes of what is being said, and what the possible outcomes could be. Going forward, what could this present situation possibly lead up to? Because it's important to know everything has a ripple effect. Like the smallest things can turn into the next major incident. Catastrophic event, like Dr. West said. Yeah, I was looking at a short clip last night on YouTube from Dr. West. It was a little short piece about him explaining what is what is his definition of the blues? And he described the blues as the blues is a modality, is a way of expressing troubles and chaos, and it's a way of it's a personal, like one person's description of some horrible things, and it's not just like a trivial thing. It's a very serious thing. Like, it's not like you. It's like the slow march towards Armageddon. Like, we're slowly marching towards the destructuring and the destabilization of the global population. It's like, so he said that the blues is it's a lyrical expression of catastrophe, and but he said that the blues also is a metaphor for how something bad can be turned into something artistic. So for me, as a black man, I have to think of the historical disparities in the African American community. So like the African descendants of slaves, right? The ADOS. We have a lot of baggage, and we have a lot of frustration. A lot of frustration at the just frustration and just general negativity, because we have the stigma that our race and our color is a bad thing. So it's like like, to be black is to be, by design, stupid, backwards, like undeveloped, lazy, uncivilized. So all these characteristics were given to us because of our skin color, just based on our skin color. So we are blues people. We are not necessarily against, like, being happy, but I feel like some days the weight of the world is placed on our shoulders. Like we have to bear the burden for something that we did not create. We did not create this system. We didn't create this system of race or class economics, or we didn't create the situation of ghettos. We didn't create the situation of high crime, living in crime-infested neighborhoods. Like, we didn't create none of this stuff, but and that could weigh on you, because that is what's been portrayed since the beginning of Western civilization. People of color are the scourge and the wretched of the earth. That's another way of thinking of it. It's like we're the wretched of the earth. Like, we as a people, we deserve to be treated badly. We deserve to have a poor or substandard quality of life. Like, that's the blues. That is the blues when you think of it. Like, a little black kid goes to school and he doesn't realize that he's different from anybody else, but he can feel, whenever he's around people that are not like him, he can feel like, oh, I'm different. I'm not as celebrated as other people. So that's the blues. That's the blues. I don't know if that really is a clear description of what Dr. West meant, but that's just my interpretation of the blues. It's not necessarily one thing, but it seems like it's just like baggage. So Dr. West also said that though we do have that in our makeup, like our psychological makeup, we have that, like that we are inherently bad, or we're inherently not worthy of certain things. But and even sometimes they they make laws and rules to enforce, to get us to really to drill it in us that we're not on the same level. But he said that the blues doesn't just stop at the bad part. The blues is just as much a part of the American fabric as anything else. Like, we as a people created a genre of artistic expression because of the situations that we were in. So the situations that we were in, and we still are in, we did not let that like totally block us from being expressive. Like, we still found a way to express our genius, our divinity, our our transcendent nature, because the blues speaks to the soul, and the blues has a way of lifting up a consciousness. It has a way, art has a way of conveying a message that words sometimes don't convey. The blues is not just rhythm, it's not just notes, it's not just vocalization, it's a feeling. And that's a lot. I think that goes into the church too, like the way that the hymns, the Negro spirituals were created, were through them having to make an attempt to consciously elevate their psyche. They had to constantly be elevated. They had to constantly be battling against the negativity and the hostility and the brutalization um, that they were placed under, and placed under a system of slavery. And so the blues is miraculous. It's a miracle that somehow, some way, these people who had nothing, were nothing, were constantly being oppressed and terrorized. Instead of becoming murderous and homicidal, they channeled that into a beautiful art form. They channeled that suffering, that bondage into a expression and a connection with something bigger. Because I'm sure my ancestors knew that there was going to come a day where liberation would come. Liberation would come. The sky, it can't rain all day. It cannot be dark all day. So, and I've heard growing up, certain people in certain places, churches mostly, black churches, use this expression, weeping may endure for a night, and weeping is good, man. I think when a person is able to, express sorrow or whatever, and weeping is like a deep anguish or a deep it's like a deep sadness. Weeping is not just like it's like, I lost my job, oh, my girlfriend broke. No, that's a sadness, but like a deep sadness is like the total loss of a civilization, a lost generation of people, or people who are deaf, dumb, and blind, due to no fault of their own. That is a deep, deep anguish. But it says weeping may endure for a night, which is a season. It's not literal. It's not just one. It's that's literal. That's not literal. It's figuratively. It's saying that one's life may be a life of weeping. One's life may be a life of sorrow. But that sorrow is transformed into something beautiful, like the blues or jazz. And that's also a part of our heritage too. That's also part of the African heritage. We are musical. We are expressive. We need rhythm. Rhythm is what sets our compass. Sometimes we can set our focus on the northern star and have some hymnals or some spirituals or some blues to get us going. Because sometimes we lose our way. Sometimes the night is dark, but that doesn't mean that we have to give up or lose the inspiration. The inspiration is always around us. It's in the birds, it's in the people, it's in nature. We gotta believe in each other, man. It's not like we have a choice. We have to see the possibility in each person, because alone we're prey. When we by ourselves and we don't choose to associate and assimilate with people of the like background, we're easily we can easily lose our way. But when we are with our so-called village, there's strength in numbers. There's very much, I believe in that. I believe in strength in numbers. Even though nobody's perfect, and no group is perfect. And I'm dealing with that right now. For example, I'm dealing with a situation with one of the people in Lake Como that, I was really, really kind of shocked at the way this person reacted to me, and I had a part to play in it too. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to blame everything on that person, but in spite of that, it's like, okay, the emotions kind of make things kind of confusing a little bit, but I still have to see that at the end of the day, like, I need her or I need that person, and I can't just write people who may have misunderstood my intentions. I can't just write people off and abandon people. No, 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 no. That's not a part of the blues. The blues says, you can do me wrong. You can walk out on me 777,000 times. I'm still going to keep the door open just in case. I'm not going to say that, you do me wrong 100 times, well, if there is a connection, then I can overlook, because then that allows for people to make mistakes. You gotta allow people make mistakes. I make mistakes. So the more I grow up, the more I mature, I see, don't be so quick to make a judgment. Don't be so quick to say something that in the heat of the moment, you might regret later, or you make an assumption based on something that is not really true, yeah. I have a problem sometimes with being too quick to make a judgment on people. But then I don't understand why people misunderstand me. It's like, oh, okay, it must start with me. Like, I must be the one to realize, oh, most of my assumptions are not based on reality. They're just based on some figment of my imagination, So, as I mature, I have a lot of maturing to do, but I also see the possibility and the potential in staying the course, and being rooted and grounded and fortified in traditions and engagement and community, bigger things that are bigger than myself. So I just see that I could possibly contribute in some way to some good stuff, but yeah, I still got some things, what do they call those in Alcoholics Anonymous? They said they said I have to make amends and to every day try to clean house, because cleaning my house and sweeping up around my own front door will keep a lot of the other stuff away. It's like I'm so busy working and doing things to better myself. I'm not looking to judge nobody else. I'm just trying to make it through this life and do the best I can, so. But yo, this is DJ Love Daddy, the one and only, coming at you on 108.9 FM. We love radio. Last on your dial, first in your heart, and that's the truth. Peace.